French are extremely, like I said, a lot of their social life revolves around the table, and so your manners around the table are extremely important. Um, so I guess the advice I would say would be to do whatever anybody else around the table is doing. Um, so if first off, don't put your elbows on the table, and don't put your elbows out, because as Americans we tend to eat a little bit kind of like this, where our elbows are have about 2 feet of space on each side of us, and we end up rubbing elbows with the person next to us. In France, that is extremely disrespectful. Keep your elbows by your sides, and that's you just eat with a fork and a knife too. Um, cutting things with your fork is not polite over there at all. And so you have a fork and a knife. They have it there for a reason. So you cut it with one hand. You stick it with your fork with the other hand, and always chew with your mouth closed. Though I would say those are the three biggest things that a lot of missionaries have trouble with: is eating with a fork and a knife, your elbows, and chewing with your mouth closed. As sad as it is, but it's really the biggest problem that a lot of Americans they run into problems with. So French people are very particular about themselves. They don't like anybody getting into their life whatsoever if they don't know them, or if they don't have a chance to get to know them. So the biggest thing I would say, to understand the French culture, is first off, just be their friend to start off. If you see somebody on the street and you really like their shoes, that's your number one go-to to get into the conversation. You stop them like, "Hey, I really like your shoes. Where'd you get your shoes?" You know, you talk about them. They love, we as people in general, not just the French, as Americans, as human beings, we love to talk about ourselves. We absolutely love it, and so if you can always get them talking about themselves all the time. So for example, you start by getting into their shoes, okay, and then you ask, okay, well, where would I get some? Do you know where I could find some? Because those are really cool. I like them. And I'm not just in this missionary or this suit and tie all day, for example. And you get talking, and then and then you say, okay, well, how long have you been here? Like, do you know the area where I can find the stores? And they'll say, oh, well, I've been here for this amount of time. And you say, okay, well, do you like it here? Like, I just got here. And then it's kind of like a domino effect. You just got to find how you like to go about doing it. But the way I did it, I started off just talking about them, something that they had on, their bike that they had, the bag that they were wearing, something like that. And then from there, I'd go from there to how long they were here, to how long I was here. And then they'd ask, really, what are you doing over here? Like, oh yeah, I'm American. Like, dude, you're stupid if you're over here if you're an American. Like, go back to America. France sucks. That's what a lot of them will say, actually. And then that's when you're just like, oh no, I love France. I'm actually here. I've been here for this amount of time. Like, I've been to this city, and this city, and I really love the French people. And they're just like, you're crazy. Like, they'll look at you, they'll give you the weird look. Like, dude, you're nuts. And and then that's when you're just like, okay, well, hey, like, my name, or if you haven't already introduced yourself, you say, my name is this, and you go on to say, well, you know what, I'm actually here because I know that this has changed my life, that this gospel or this knowledge about whatever you want to share has changed my life. And that's why I've been to this city, that's why I'm here talking to you right now, actually. And if you go about it the right way, and you don't go about it just too directly, too strongly, they'll really enjoy that, and they'll either agree with you or not, obviously. But the French people have, I like to look at them as people as having guard dogs, watchtowers, barbed wire, and the whole thing, you know. And you just have to get through all that by asking certain questions that don't feel threatening to them. And once you're in, you're in. If you can become a French person's friend, they're your friend for life.